So, in light of everything going on, I decided to do a different video for my channel. I didn't feel it was right to post what I normally post or what I had planned to post for this week, and you see my video is going up a little bit later. But I've had a lot of thoughts and feelings in the past 2 weeks, I think, and I don't think I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna just try to keep it raw, so I'll get to the point. With all the issues with the Black Lives Matter movement and the killings of black people and police brutality, it definitely hit home for me because obviously I'm a black girl and I've experienced a lot of racism growing up, whether it be through my peers or from teachers or anybody like that. And so I understand how it feels to be around racists and to know that like you're not accepted because of the color of your skin. And seeing the videos of like George Floyd's death and hearing the stories of other people like Breonna Taylor, it just angers me. And I like to use that anger for something better. A lot of people are choosing to riot right now, and I'm not against the rioters. I am against looting small businesses and stealing, because if you want to burn down like a Target or something, I'm not promoting violence, but I don't have nothing against you. You know, I'm not gonna do it, but I have nothing against you. Target even said like we can rebuild, but just keep in mind that small businesses is family owned, and that family probably worked very hard, whether it's a white, black, whatever family, they worked really hard to get that. So I don't think that is right. And stealing just shows the white people that you need them, because you're stealing their stuff and you're gonna wear their stuff, like, and that's still promoting it. Wearing it is promoting it. So if you want to show them you don't need them, then that's why you burn stuff down. You don't steal it. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I'm choosing to turn my anger into art because I am an artist, and that's what this video is today. It took me some time to get to it, but that's what this video is. I have written songs since I was like 5 years old, and you know, songs are poetry, so I transfer that into poetry. And I've written poetry throughout high school about my experience as a black girl, or my experience in high school as a black girl, and things like that. And I'm gonna try to find those and do a video with at least one of my slam poems or one of the other poems that I've written, or things that I've just written about being a black girl. But in this specific video, I want to share 2 poems that I wrote recently for my English class that I think fits everything. So the first is inspired by a poem by Lucille Clifton, and I'm reading it off my Chromebook. So Lucille Clifton was an African-American poet, and her poem is called My Dream About Being White. So I'll read her poem and then read mine so you can see like where I got the inspiration from. So this is My Dream About Being White. Hey, music and me, only white, hair a flutter of fall leaves, circling my perfect line of a nose. No lips, no behind. Hey, white me. And I'm wearing white history, but there's no future there in those clothes. So I take them off and wake up dancing. And when I read this, I love the ending, because she, like, how I interpret it is, she thought about being white. And I know a lot of people think, what if I was the other race, you know? And not in a way of, oh, I want to be them, just what would I look like, you know? And so she kind of thought of that, and she realized, nah, I'm happy where I am. But I got inspired, and I wrote a poem called Dare White Me. And I just imagined if there was an alternate universe where everyone was their opposite race, what would I want the white version of Dinaja to be like? So here's my poem called Dear White Me. I hope you understand your history of being the oppressor. I hope you call out your community. I hope you support the Black Lives Matter movement. I hope you do your research. I hope you never use the N-word. I hope you march and protest with the black folk. Do love yourself. Don't be ashamed of being white. Do educate your people. Don't spread all lives matter. Do understand that Black Lives Matter has an implied 2 at the end. Don't date black men if you're not willing to fight for them. Do spread love. And I feel like that's everything we're fighting for now. So I just hope the white version of myself would understand that. And I know the most controversial line is don't spread all lives matter. All lives matter was created to go against the Black Lives Matter movement. The Black Lives Matter movement is not saying that all lives do not matter, because we believe that every single life matters, but what society tells us is that every single life matters except black lives. And that's why we have Black Lives Matter, which it's code for Black Lives Matter too. You know? So if you don't understand that, like, I explained it just now. I don't know how much further I can educate you on that. And so anybody who really supports all lives matter and doesn't understand anything, I don't need them to be a supporter, because I rather have, you know, people with good morals as supporters. But my next poem is based off of an interview with Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison. She did an interview in the 90s, and the man asked her a question, which the poem will get into. And I based my poem off of his question and her face after he asked. You know, the question was basically saying, like, does she still experience racism even after being so successful? So basically, does this African American woman still have to go through what all African Americans have to go through because she's successful? Like, he didn't understand how she could be so successful and go through that. And, like, any successful black person probably has had this question, and they make the same face that's kind of like, okay, you clearly don't understand. You're clearly not educated, because it's not a matter of success when it comes to racism. It's a matter of race, the color of my skin, the texture of my hair, the thickness of my lips. That is what it is a matter of. So my next poem is based off that, and it's called Questions. Do you still have that encounter? Is what he asked. Should you be exempt from racism since you're successful? Is what I hear. But my question is, shouldn't we all be exempt? No matter how successful or unsuccessful, how rich or poor, how sick or healthy, how joyous or angry, how loud or quiet, how average or famous, how religious or atheist, how intelligent or delayed, how light or dark, how goal-oriented or unenthusiastic, shouldn't we all be exempt? And that one, like, I don't know which one I like better personally, but that one really, like, shows how I feel about just racism and I guess selective racism. I don't know if that's a word, if that's a thing, but selective racism, which means, like, I've encountered racist teachers who aren't necessarily racist to every black student, just specific black students. Now, with teachers, like with police, you see a lot of men being killed. Women are also killed, but you hear more about a lot of men being killed. Now, my experience in schools, you see more of teachers being racist towards black girls. Why is that? Because black guys or black boys are considered cool. And if they are athletic and play sports, then they're definitely even more cool. And so, like, with me, I was always confused, because I'm like, this teacher is definitely racist. Like, there's no other reason for them to teach me this way. I don't give them, like, to treat me that way. I don't give them no reason to, like, and the things that they do and the things that they say and the way that they look at me, you know they're racist. But then it'd be the black boy in my class that I was friends with, where I'm like, but they're cool with him. Like, they said stuff about all the black girls, but they're cool with him. It's because black boys are considered cool in school, and black girls are considered loud, obnoxious, ghetto, etc., etc. So that was just my personal experience. You can comment down below with your experiences. If you're a black person, comment your experiences with that. If you're any other race, comment whether you know, with support, or with things that you've seen your Black friends have to go through, anything like that. And this, I could tell you, is a safe space. And any comments that aren't good and for this, I will be deleting, so you don't have to worry about dealing with any like dumb people commenting. But these two poems just really meant a lot to me, and I worked hard on them. And I'm gonna write the poem in the description if you want to take another look at it. But yeah, that's basically it. So I would love if you subscribe to my channel, like this video down below, comment, turn your post notifications on, even share it out so more people can hear these poems and more people can know that they are not alone. You are not alone, and you are beautiful, and Black Lives Matter.